Nobody planned to be a hero that day. Nobody had a reason to stop. They just did. These are the 2026 moments of ordinary people doing extraordinary things when it counted most. Story 1: The car in the pond. A car crashed into a pond in Sanford with the driver trapped inside and water rising fast. Before emergency services arrived, a group of strangers jumped in. Watch what they managed to pull through that window with nothing but their hands and the decision not to drive past. Nobody called a meeting about it. Nobody waited to see if someone else would go first. The water was rising, and they were already in it. Next, a motorcyclist who did not see the barrier, train tracks directly below, and one stranger who was close enough to make the difference. Story 2: The train tracks. A motorcyclist failed to see the barrier ahead and landed directly on the train tracks with no time to move. A passerby standing nearby saw it happen and stepped in before anyone else had processed what was going on. Watch the speed of the decision, because there is no hesitation visible anywhere in this clip. The train was coming. He had seconds. He used them. From train tracks to a burning car on the side of the road and a young driver who crossed over before the fire department had even been called. Story 3: The car on fire. A car is on fire with people still inside when a young driver passing by spots it, pulls over, and crosses to the vehicle to extinguish the flames before any emergency services arrive. Watch the moment he makes the decision to get out of his own car and move toward the burning one, because that moment is the whole story. He did not wait for someone with a badge and a uniform. He had hands, and he used them. From a burning car to a twisted wreck with flames rising and a man who climbed onto the wreckage while everyone else was still deciding what to do. Story 4: The crash rescue. Metal twisted, flames rising, chaos everywhere. One man climbed onto the wreckage while the smoke was still thick and reached through for the driver trapped inside. Watch him work, because the steadiness of what he does under those conditions is harder to explain than it looks. He was not a firefighter, not a medic. He was just a person who was there and decided that was enough of a reason. Next, a bride whose transportation cancelled at the last minute, and a stranger who pulled over and made sure she got to the church on time. Story 5: The bride and the stranger. A bride's transportation fell through at the last minute on her wedding day. A stranger passing by saw her situation and stopped. Watch her face when she realizes this person she has never met in her life is about to make sure the most important day of her life still happens on schedule. Have a fantastic wedding. God bless you. That was the whole transaction. A stranger, a car, and a wedding that almost did not happen. From a wedding day rescue to a manhole in the middle of rush hour that became an unexpected community mission. Story 6: The manhole. A manhole opens up in the middle of rush hour traffic, and instead of driving around it or filming it on a phone, a group of strangers stops and turns the problem into a group effort. Watch how quickly people who have never met each other organize around a shared obstacle when someone decides to be the first one to stop. Rush hour. Nobody had the time. Everybody made it anyway. From a street rescue to a hospital room where a woman worked until her body gave out on a stranger's porch, and thousands of people she had never met decided that was not how her story should end. Story 7. The Retirement Fund. A woman worked until her legs gave out on a stranger's porch. One family saw it happen, shared what they witnessed, and strangers across the internet turned their sympathy into $260,000 for her retirement. Watch her reaction, because she had no idea a moment of collapse on someone else's porch was about to change the rest of her life. Hard work built her story. Kindness gave it an ending she did not write herself. From a retirement fund raised by strangers to a birthday cake and an elderly woman who sat down to celebrate alone until the room decided otherwise. Story 8. The Birthday Stranger. An elderly woman planned to celebrate her birthday alone with a cake when the staff and other customers in the room noticed and decided that was not acceptable. Watch the moment the singing starts, because her face when she realizes what is happening around her is the kind of thing that takes a minute to stop thinking about. She came in expecting nothing. The room gave her something she will not forget. From a birthday table to a train platform in South America where a dog fell onto the tracks and one person jumped down without waiting to see if anyone else would go first. Story 9. The Dog on the Tracks. A dog fell onto a busy train platform trying to reach its owner with a train approaching. The owner warned the crowd. Nobody moved. Then one person jumped down. Watch the platform from the moment the decision is made, because the speed of it and the silence of everyone watching are equally difficult to forget. The train was coming. Everyone saw it. One person decided that was their problem. And the last one on this list is the smallest act on the entire list. No emergency, no fire, no water rising, just an elderly man in the rain and one driver who could not keep going. Story 10. The Umbrella in the Rain. A driver waiting at a red light spots an elderly man struggling alone in the rain and gets out of the car to share an umbrella while the light is still red. Watch what happens in the 10 seconds before the light changes, because the decision is made so quickly there is almost nothing to see except the result of it. No emergency, no crowd watching, just a red light, a stranger in the rain, and somebody who decided 10 seconds was enough time to do something worth doing. Every person in these clips had somewhere to be, a reason to keep moving, a perfectly good excuse to let someone else handle it. They chose differently. Drop a comment below telling us which moment got you the most. And check the end screen right now because we have more compilations sitting there that will do exactly the same thing.